Guys, as you know, Mike Feldman comes from the UFC world, was just in Vegas for UFC 300, but when it comes to legends across any combat sports media, Radio Raheem is in the building for Haney Garcia. Mr. Radio Raheem, brother, how'd you get into this business? I know I'm supposed to ask you about the fight, but you are an active, living legend in media.
Well, you know, if I'm honest about it, it was something of an accident, but also when passion drives you and the fans want something, it's hard to deny them because it's denying yourself, right? So I started shooting sparring sessions at Wildcard Boxing Gym early days, and there were professional fighters in there getting ready for world championship fights. I was in there shooting their sparring sessions, trying to earn my gym dues by selling them the sparring tapes. Those tapes started to have some news value because the fighters that were in those sparring sessions were getting ready for major fights, if not world championships. And then Doug Fisher and I started to commentate the sparring sessions for a channel called Max Boxing. Doug Fisher is now the Ring magazine editor-in-chief, and we commentated sparring sessions as though you were watching them on TV. And it became a really huge show called Gym Wars. And then I started to interview the fighters before and after the sparring sessions. We made a whole production of it. The people loved it. It was something new and fresh, and it became a life of its own. And I never looked back. Like, boxing has been in my heart my whole life, but I never thought it would be my career. I didn't think, even though I was broadcasting from an early age, like 10th grade, I didn't think I was going to be talking about boxing or interviewing fighters. But, you know, what's in you will come out, and that's what came out. And when the people accepted it and desired it, I couldn't do anything but deliver it.
You mentioned you filmed kind of like a bargaining system, you said, for gym dues? Does that mean you were training?
Oh yeah, I've been training. I'm always training. I'm tomorrow's Sunday, so I won't be at the gym, but Monday.
Oh, still?
We'll be all
right.
day, bro.
You
if
seem
you can't go around, you can't call around. I'm not saying you gotta win the round, but you gotta be in there mixing it up. You gotta be in the gym. You gotta understand something of what these fighters are going through. I don't liken myself to a professional fighter by any stretch of imagination, or even a competitive one, but I do have first-hand experience of what it's like to go through those moments, even if it's sparring. Go through those moments, even if it's in training, where you gotta get yourself past the threshold that you think you can overcome. And if you don't have at least any kind of first-hand experience about that, you really don't know what is going on in the ring. And I think it is difficult for you to relate to the people that you cover. So I do my best to be able to relate to them, and part of that is staying in the gym.
You are modest. Perfect segue. Tell me what you saw in the ring tonight between Mr. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
I saw two incredible warriors. Let's not forget that Devin Haney got up off of that canvas at least 3 times. Some might say more, depending on what you consider a knockdown or not. But what we do know is that he didn't finish that fight anywhere but on his feet. And it took some real mettle. It took some real determination and a grit that a lot of people don't have to see that 12th round finished. So all respect and credit to Devin Haney, his ability to persevere through clear adversity. I think tonight, maybe as he would say, it just wasn't his night, and he didn't perform to his best of ability. Only he knows that. But what we do know is that it was Ryan's night, and we do know that he seemed to be able to function with ease. He was landing the punches that he was throwing. His defense, although awkward at times with this little shell, was working.
Yeah, they showed the Duarte fight on the big screen when he was also incorporating the shell.
I think that Haney also did benefit from, you know, some decisions by the referee that could have gone either way. I thought that, you know, even with the referee having taken a point from Ryan, even with the referee at some points breaking the action when it was questionable, that doesn't take anything away from Devin's perseverance. And also, it doesn't take anything away from, in fact, it gives me even more admiration for Ryan's, of all things, focus and discipline. Like, there was many times in this fight where he could have got frustrated, he could have thrown a tantrum, he could have taken his eye off the ball, like, you know, started to blame the ref, or because he was doing so well, started to relax and clown, or the guy was focused. He was on his task. He knew what he was in there to do. He was comfortable doing it. He seemed to have all the gas he needed to get through 12 rounds. So none of us would have predicted that. Certainly that was not what I thought was going to happen going in. And if anything, if maybe he fooled us all, maybe he even fooled himself. I'm not sure that he even knew it was going to go that easily, but who can say, because he certainly promised it would, and he delivered on that. And so both of these guys are incredible warriors tonight. They came to fight. They came to win. I think they both left it all in the ring for what they had tonight, and I actually would like to see it again. I think this is a instant classic, and I think a rematch is warranted.
I think that's the purest in you talking, because I would love to see it too at the same weight. He makes the weight. Haney was so humble. I think it was Mannix in the ring who asked him, he goes, do you think the weight played the factor? He said no. He could have started the promotion for the rematch by saying, yeah, this fat boy didn't make weight and I gave him it. Very humble. I would love to see it, but is Ryan, does he want to see it? Does Oscar want to see it?
Well, the last thing Ryan said to me tonight was no rematch. You know, but it's the night of the fight. And he is the guy calling the shots right now. He also is not a world champion after tonight. So let's not forget that he won the fight. He won the battle, but he didn't win the war. And I think a rematch is warranted, if for no other reason than that. Then I think it's fair play. You did come in heavy. You didn't win the titles. You got a shot anyway. And I think sportsmanship, if nothing else, calls for you to give Devin Haney at least a shot at redemption, because you can't give him a shot at his titles back because you didn't qualify to win the titles, which you should have done, and then the rematch would have been a rematch for the titles, which I think Devin Haney has the right to fight for again, but that's not how boxing works. Now those titles are vacated. He just doesn't, automatically get the right to compete for them again. He certainly can't win them back fighting Ryan Garcia next, and so that's entirely Ryan's fault, and it's not fair to Devin, in fact. So at the very minimum, if Devin wants the rematch, I think he should get it. I
agree, and this was a story of two sides. You have a fighter who I'm sure would have loved to participate in Ramadan. It did line up in the training camp. And then you have Garcia, who is drinking, openly admitting to partying, just reckless behavior in a sense. Man, I hope that the rematch happens. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think Garcia is thinking like, I got away with one. I didn't make weight. I had a little extra gas in the tank on the A side. But I'm new to the boxing game. This is chaos, man. Should I expect this at every big show?
You know what? From this day forward, yes. Every single big boxing show is going to deliver in exactly this fashion, if not better. You can count on it. And if it doesn't happen, it's your fault.
Till this day. We will make it a very special occasion. I love it, man. The sweet science, I participated in myself. I lost a couple times at Gleason's, but like you said, it's like you learn a little something about the athletes that you want to cover. So respect for that immensely from you. Mr. Raheem, you are an active legend. I don't want to call you like an old legend, but you are killing the game, and much respect, my brother.
Welcome to the fray. Welcome to the front lines of boxing. You were here for the UFC 300. I was watching it myself. Another classic night, one of the biggest nights in UFC. I thought, 10 seconds of like one of the most incredible bits of combat I've seen across any combat platform.
Nuts.
And I like to see MMA guys covering boxing. I like boxing guys appreciating the MMA. So, you're welcome here anytime. And I hope when I'm on your side of the octagon, if you will, I'll have the same reception. And I'm looking forward to all combat reporters and athletes realizing that we're a part of one big family. So, welcome.